San Francisco. You're watching the Niners Report by Chat Sports coming your way on today's show. I'm your host, Chase Sr. Let's go, faithful. Really pumped up to take your questions and your comments from all of our loyal subscribers. And if you want to be involved in our mailbags moving forward, just hit that red sub button down below. We continue to grow like crazy, trying to, at some point, get to 100,000 subscribers. We're approaching 65,000 subs. A big reason we've been able to grow. All of your support. Do appreciate that. Just wanted to say that in advance. Speaking of our subscribers, Parrish Smith is one. If we beat the Chiefs and the Lambs again, we're going to the bowl. What you think? So, got to beat the Falcons first. I don't want to overlook Atlanta because throughout the first 5 weeks, they've actually been a pretty feisty opponent. And that's not a team that you can overlook. It's not a team where you think that you go in to Atlanta expecting a cakewalk, and then you turn the football over, you commit penalties like they did against Denver, and then you go down against an inferior opponent. Like Kyle Shanahan said in the locker room after the Panthers win, great win, but let's keep stacking those dubs. A victory here gives you 3 straight. I think it's a favorable matchup against Kansas City. I think the 49ers are really, really good, especially going up against the Los Angeles Rams, who I don't think are very good. An opportunity here to really put together a special winning streak for San Francisco. I will tell you this, Parrish. Great photo, by the way, the catch Dwight Clark against those fraudulent Dallas Cowboys. The Niners have a roster that is equipped to compete and win a Super Bowl. Jimmy Garoppolo just has to play above average football. That's really it. With this game on Sunday, of course we're going to be doing another watch party because we do watch parties every single week. Shoot, I woke up on Sunday in New York, took a flight down to Dallas to the Chat Sports studios in time for a watch party. I would never miss it, and I ain't going to miss this one. It all starts with a 30-minute pregame show, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Some really good Super Chat games cooked up once again. The beers will be flowing, live play-by-play, analysis and audience interaction, pregame show, postgame show as well. Subscribe and join us. Turn on this notice. The Gingerbread Man. Do you think the Niners have the best defense in the league? I don't even think it's close. Now, with Emmanuel Mosley going out, certainly a big hit to the secondary. There's no doubt about that. But they can absorb that blow with some really good players who are still on this roster at that cornerback spot. And with Jason Verrett coming back and Charvarius Ward playing lights-out football. And the fact that this Niners linebacking core, both Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, are 2 of the top 5 highest graded linebackers in the NFL. This defensive line continues to generate excellent pressure on the opposing quarterback. And if quarterbacks don't have time to throw, sometimes it doesn't matter what happens on the back end, which is why the Niners can survive without E-Man. Words of wisdom. Chase, someone needs to look into the trainer as they have had way too many injuries than most teams do. You're actually right about that, because the 49ers are top 10 in injury rate every single year since Kyle Shanahan took over as head coach. They've suffered a lot of injuries. Now, a lot of teams across the NFL also suffer injuries. I think part of that is because Kyle Shanahan runs a very physical style, and the 49ers play a physical brand, not just offensively, but defensively. I also think that turf fields are a straight-up crime and a straight-up joke. If the NFL really is concerned about player safety, all they have to do is just get rid of turf fields, put in a grass surface, and a lot of these injuries would not happen. So words of wisdom, you do make a good point right there. Niners have been injured a lot of circumstances that certainly play into that. After our watch party on Sunday, we're going to be going live on Callin. I hope that all of you join us. It's like Twitter Spaces, but even better, an interactive audio social podcasting app where you can call into the show and interact with me. It's one thing to read your comments here on YouTube. It's another to actually be able to hear your voices and you call into the show like an old school sports talk radio show on Callin. Download the app by scanning the QR code on your screen here, available in the Apple Store as well as the Google Play Store. To my guy, Chualor, he's been a real one, day one Niners Report supporter. What should the Niners do with their special teams coach? If he struggles again this week, and if he continues to struggle all throughout this year, Brian Schneider, your seat going to continue to get hot. They already fired their special teams coach from last year. He went to the Chicago Bears. I thought it was going to be a little bit better with Brian Schneider, and it hasn't. This year, 2 blocked field goals, 1 went back for a touchdown, and coverage breakdowns cannot happen because all 3 phases are needed to win yourself a big game like the Niners were able to do last year against Green Bay with that blocked punt. Byron McCants, what up, bro? Not a question, but an observation. Doesn't always need to be a question. I appreciate it, Byron. I really need Jimmy to go through all of his progressions. I was at the Carolina game, and there were some home run balls that he didn't see. I actually thought that Jimmy G played a really good game against Carolina. He went through his progressions in certain moments. I like how he took some shots downfield, anticipatory throws, back shoulder balls, tight window throws. But yes, you're right, Byron. He's missed a couple of throws over the last couple of weeks. There's no doubt about that. And we want to see him just play solid at that quarterback spot, because if he does, this Niners team, they're destined for really, really special things. Tuck Wyatt, man, he really wants us to answer his questions. I want to answer them as well. Tuck, okay, let's see what he's trying to say here. Where are we with DeForest Buckner? That's question one. Question two, rank the top 5 wide receivers and tight ends, D-line and safety cores. Niners are top 5 in all of those. Question three, Kyle makes running backs good, or do they make him, he say all he needs is running backs to find holes? Tuck, you fit a lot in there, man. I'm going to try to break this down as best as possible. So, where are we with DeForest Buckner? I mean, the Niners are the best defense in the NFL, and they've gotten really good production out of their defensive tackles, and that's without Eric Armstead and Javon Kinlaw. They've still gotten really good production from Kerry Hyder. Charles Omenihu is earning himself the bag. He's been playing a lot of DT. Hassan Ridgeway has also been really good. Kevin Givens has been fantastic. So, honestly, I'm not sure if Buckner makes this defense that much better. Top 5 wide receiver, tight end, D-line, and safety cores. The Niners are probably top 5 in all of those. And then Kyle is the one who calls and designs the run plays in this offense. So he makes the running backs good, because if the running backs made him good, every running back who came in here would always be productive, and they always are. Did my best, Tuck. Appreciate the question. BetUS, our sponsor for this mailbag. Chatsports.com/49bet, promo code Niners125 for a 125% deposit bonus. What that means is you put in $100, you get an additional $125 to game with. And if you want to bet on this game Sunday in Atlanta, you know the faithful is going to take over that stadium, because the Falcons, they don't have any fans. It's going to be a sea of scarlet red. Niners 6-point favorites, over under, the highest of the year actually, 43.5 for all Niner games. Chatsports.com/49bet, promo code Niners125, sign up today. My boy, Hanif Razak, how many yards will Ayuk, Debo, as well as Metcalf and Lockett get? They're in my fantasy. Let's say that Ayuk breaks out for 80. Debo, 70 with like 30 rushing yards, 2 combined touchdowns. Metcalf and Lockett, they play for the Sea Chickens. They're on your fantasy team. Usually I like to say not many people care about your fantasy team, but I got you, Hanif. You're a big supporter of what we do. It really depends on the Jekyll and Hyde nature of Geno Smith. Those guys can go off, or they can have lackluster performances. I've actually been surprised at how good the Seahawks offense has been. And this is real. Geno Smith has outplayed Russell Wilson so far this year. RRDH, when is Jason Verrett coming back? TBD. He worked out pregame. Prior to that Panthers game, he was on the field. He was running. He looked solid. He practiced last week, expected to practice this week as well. So really it comes down to when he feels comfortable. And hopefully that's soon, because Niners going to be without Emmanuel Mosley. Rich Milich, I'm expecting a different tempo and dynamic in the Atlanta game. Defensive domination just isn't likely this often. You're right. That's why it's important for the Niners offense to get it together. That's why I really liked what I saw from the Niners offense, putting up 30 points, and it could have been 37 if George Kittle didn't put the pill on the carpet. Gonna need to score a little bit more anyway overall. I still got the Niners winning 28-21. And if they win, they cover the spread. That'll make a lot of people happy by the number that you put there, 28-21. I think this is a touchdown win. And oftentimes, a lot of these games in the NFL are decided by one score or less. If this game is close, it's okay. Speaking of score predictions, Rich Milich gave us his. What is yours? Let us know right now and show off your genie in the bottle type of knowledge. San Francisco, Atlanta, meeting Sunday in Atlanta. What are your score predictions? Let us know right now.